If you're like me, vinyl records mean a lot to you. From sound to visuals to tangibility, it's an unmatched experience in today's scroll and click culture. And if it means a lot to you and I, imagine what it means to those who've put their own music to wax through the years.
There really is something pretty profound about holding a piece of vinyl that has your music on it for the first time.
I'm Jim Hankey, host and producer of Vinyl Emergency, a podcast where your favorite songwriters, producers, and other personalities talk about how the mere existence of vinyl has influenced their lives and careers. People like Roseanne Cash, Oscar nominee Michael Shannon, Hozier,
I remember falling in love with Howlin' Wolf's The London Sessions.
Adam Duritz, Ben Gibbard, Lisa Loeb,
As I was going through my records, I didn't realize I forgot I had Andy Warhol sign it.
plus members of REM, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Run DMC, and more.
The arts succeeds where politics and religion fails.
Vinyl is more than just the music that's on it. It's also the memories, legends, and science that made it in the first place.
Streaming will never kill the true record makers. You can't stop thinking side one and side two, even if the world doesn't care. It's in their blood.
Find Vinyl Emergency on your preferred podcast app today and give us a follow on Instagram at Vinyl Emergency.
Welcome to the Imperfect Dads Podcast. This is your host, Devin. We believe dads care deeply about their family and kids, but they don't always have a space to discuss what their life looks like. Our podcast is a space for dads to discuss the ups and downs of fatherhood and how they feel like they're holding it together or how they're not. Thank you for joining us for this episode. This podcast is part of the Never a Face Network. Make sure to follow them on Instagram or go to the website neverafacenetwork.com. On this episode, we have on Sid from the band The Emergency Exit. You might also have seen his videos on socials talking about being a punk rock girl dad and teaching his daughter about punk rock music. We talked about letting his daughter play with his vinyl and guitars, how being a dad adds a layer of depth and love that's hard to explain, horror movies, recording music, his love of Star Wars, and the story of how we started posting videos of being a punk rock dad. My favorite thing about Sid is how much of a normal guy he was. He seemed I'm a guy who plays punk rock, loves punk rock, and he's going to teach his daughter about punk rock, regardless if anyone watches these videos or not. It's just who I am and what I'm going to do. So it's really cool to learn more about him and his life. Just like one more thing.
Dad, just start the episode.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, man. Sid, welcome to an episode of The Imperfect Dads. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Normally, first question I ask is the easiest one is how many kids you got, ages, all that good stuff.
I have one, and she is 17 months old.
Did you, before I had kids, I never thought I would count someone's life in months. Are you still getting used to that? No, they're 17. No, wait, they're 18, the counting someone's life in months aspect of it?
Well, yeah, I'm a little bit. I just tried to say one now.
Yes.
Because it's when do we stop the months thing? But I'm, this is my first rodeo, so.
Yeah. I think when the kid turns 2, that's whenever I stop doing months. Because and it also matters who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to another dad, then I'll be like, oh, they're 14 months, they're 15 months. But if it's a friend with no kids, if I say 1, they don't know if it's 12 months, 18 months. They don't know.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah, I get that. How many kids do you have?
I have 3. So I have a 10-year-old daughter, 8-year-old daughter, and 4-year-old son.
Oh man, you're deep into it.
Pretty much. But I still I think whenever your kid gets close to getting to 2 and stuff, it's such a different experience as a dad because I feel like they get a little bit more independence. I feel like they start communicating more. And I feel around 2 or the phase that you're entering into is where it's oh, this is a lot of fun. I can talk to you. It's not just a worm or, a little alien that just kind of pees and eats all the time.
Yeah, that's totally true. Over the past, I'd say around 10 months, 11
Yeah.
months, her personality really started coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's got full on, she is a human and she has, she wants to play with the ball pit balls or she wants to play with the wagon and she loves the word no. Half the time she doesn't even mean no. She means yes, but still it's no. and she watches a lot of Bluey, so she's kind of got like that almost Australian accent. Nar,
No, that's
um,
awesome.
nar.
Nar. Do you want a
But I'm
sandwich? Nar.
yeah, exactly. But she does. To be clear, she does want the sandwich.
Yeah, she does. She does. That's so fun. I like how fragile your kid seems for like the first year of their life, because they are like, they don't get neck muscles. They can't sit up on their own. Like
Right.
all that aspect of it is like a lot. And yeah, around 10 months or so, whenever they can maybe crawl a little bit, and I feel like they make more eye contact, and like the ways you can engage with them just changes drastically. That you're like, oh man, this isn't really fun. I don't like whenever you're just holding a baby that screams in your face. I think you're just like, what the hell do I do with this?
Yeah. Having a kid, we wanted to have a kid and we planned for it, but until she was here, I didn't realize how much my life needed her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
I wanted her, but now I realize our lives were not complete without her.
Yeah.
That was a really crazy realization, just because, we were so excited, and then just she showed up and it's like, oh my God, this is like, our family is complete. Because my wife and I have been together since 2009, and we just had Lorelai in 2024. So, we had an entire life before she came around.
I think like, yeah, you get excited for the kid, you want the kid, and you think you expect, like, you're like, I'm going to be stretched. I'm going to learn what sacrifice means. I'm going to have all this stuff. And then you hold the kid and you get to know the kid and you get to play with the kid. And you're just like, oh, dude, my life has so much more depth to it now. All this has so much more meaning. Like, it has such a new like lens to it that I'm grateful that that's the phase of life you're in right now. We're just like, hell yeah, this is good. This is great.
Yeah. So I've been doing these like punk rock lesson videos with her.
Yeah.
And I have a decent sized record collection that everything's in poly bags and
Yes.
alphabetical. And a couple videos in, she walks and stuff, and I noticed her step on one of the records, and my gut reaction was, oh. Then I thought about it, and I'm like, she's gonna be able to like look at this like finished product video in like 20 years and hopefully see how much fun we were having. And the record doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's like $100 out of print vinyl.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine if she, and I'm a teenager still. I have like a bunch of like Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z stuff on some shelf, and Legos on shelf downstairs. And anytime she's down there, she instantly goes for that stuff. And there's no like gut check of like, oh, that's collectible. It's just let her play with all of it. Which is another cool realization. It's like, this kid can really fuck shit up, and I'm going to be totally fine with it. Yeah.
Well, I think like, 'cause I collect vinyl also. I have like 200 records, and like the ones that I really care about, I just put in a different spot, because like, I think so much of parenting is like, hey man, your kid's going to be curious and explore. Like, why put yourself in a situation in which them being a child makes you mad at them? Like, if there's a vinyl that you care about, if you have like a special comic or action figure, don't put it where your kid can play with it, and like, you'll be fine. That's the solution.
Yeah. So, in the basement, I have, tons of guitars. I've been playing music for, 22 years or 23 years or something. And they're all on the floor. They're not on like wall hangers or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to record something quick, and I was watching Lorelai that day. So I just let her, and this is before I was doing those videos, I just like set her in the basement. There's nothing that's going to like fall on her.
Mm-hmm.
But all these guitars are in racks on the floor. And I noticed she's like going over to them and like kind of bumping them up against each other. And it's the same thing I was talking about with the records. It's like, I kind of want her to learn now to be careful. And sometimes you got to break a few eggs. So
yeah,
I don't think she dented anything or anything, but She definitely could have, and it's like, it's more important that she's, like, learning and exploring, than having a dent on a guitar or something.
Pretty much. Or once again, if it's a guitar that really matters to you, you would hopefully just put it in a different spot. Like, I think it's always confusing to me whenever people are like, "Oh, why does my kid act like this?" And it's like they're expressing curiosity, and like I don't want to kill my kid's curiosity. So like,
Yeah.
how do I make sure like, yeah, if I have a couple of vinyl that mean a lot to me, so don't put it where the kids can touch it. Like I don't want to make it seem oversimple, but like have your section where like, hey, you can mess with these, do whatever you want with these. That's good. Don't do this one. Or, like, also, if you say that to kids sometimes, they're like, well, that's the only one I want to mess with now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That's cool. Now, I love, like, the curiosity of kids. If you can change your mindset to be like, this is how they're exploring, this is how they experience the world, it makes parenting a hell of a lot easier than, why are you touching my stuff? What are you doing to my, like,
Yeah. I mean, she's a toddler. She has, like, meltdowns just
yes.
like any other kid.
Yep.
But you go out to, like, Walmart or Target and you see these parents with their kids having meltdowns and they're just, like, screaming at them or, like, grabbing them by the arm, and I'm like, there is, like, my kid could, whatever. There's just no way I'm gonna act like that just because she's having a meltdown.
Yeah.
Like, the inconvenience of, like, having to leave the store to get her to calm down, it's whatever. That's part of parenting, right? You don't need to, like, sit in Target and scream at your kid. Anyway,
No, I'm with
it's
you,
it's
man.
just so weird
Yeah.
how people, like, just everybody's different, right? But, man, at least I hope you at least wanted your kid and, like, yeah.
Well, I always think of like, before having kids, I never thought about like transitions. Like, hey, I'm about to go from here to here. As an adult, you just go. You just like, hey, I need to leave the house by 2. I'm going to leave the house by 2.
Well, yeah, there's no
Yeah,
time
there's not.
schedules.
No, yeah, but like when you have a kid, it's like it's 1:30, and you're like, all right, hey, just so you know, in about 30 minutes, we're going to leave. And 10 minutes from now, whenever we start putting your shoes on, this is why. And like, yeah, just, I don't know. I think if you can find the energy to be intentional, I feel like my kids don't have that many meltdowns because of that. Because I am like, hey, we're about to go to the grocery store. Here's what I need to get while we're there. And like, just make them part of it. Be like, hey, I'm grabbing the milk. Like, just talk to them, pay attention to them. And I'm not trying to oversimplify or be judgmental, but like, my kids usually do pretty well in a grocery store because I talk to them and let them know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have that instinct when talking to a baby or a small kid of, like, baby talk.
No, me either.
I just talk in my normal voice, and it feels like people think we're the weird ones
Yeah.
for talking to a kid, like, in your normal voice. But, I always thought that was interesting that some people, like, can only talk to a little kid in a little kid voice. And I'm just like, yeah, I can't even think of what I would say to her.
My hope is that, like, because I don't really do, I might do like a higher registry, like to get their attention or something like that, or to like not make me feel like I'm being overly serious. Sometimes you're like, hey man, let's go do this, or like something like that. But like, my hope is that I'm setting the precedent for myself, that I will speak to my kid like they're an adult and they're a person. Because that way I don't have
Yeah,
to ever
yeah.
change it to be like, oh, they're 10 now. I have to stop talking to them like they're a baby. And I'm like, I've always talked to them like they can understand what I'm saying. So I don't have to work on
Yeah.
that aspect of this.
Yeah. Um, I think that's the way to do it, man. Just talk to a kid like normal, and then they're just used to it as they grow.
Yep. Well, I noticed like the maturity level of my kids is pretty, so what their understanding of things is pretty solid. And I would like to think that's because my wife and there's like, hey, here's what's going to happen. And then you talk to them like they can understand it, and give them the space to, if they don't understand it, then they can ask like, what does that mean? I don't understand that. Because they're about to experience it. So why not include them in it?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
I feel like grocery shopping, as a very specific example, is something where people are like, ugh, I hate grocery shopping with the kids. I think it's fun. I always make it like I include them. I help them figure, like my daughter the other day wrote out a shopping list. She's 8, so her spelling isn't, she phonetically sounded it out and gave me a shopping list of how she sounded out the words. And like, to me, That's freaking adorable. Do you do grocery
Yeah,
shopping
that's
with your daughter?
yeah. We she's big enough that we can put her in like the cart seat.
Yes.
And yeah, she just, kind of cruises along. I think she's still a little too young to be like, well, I don't know, maybe like, here's the
Yeah.
milk. Milk
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
in the cart. But speaking of like the kids having a meltdown in a grocery store, Lorelai uh doesn't really do that. Like she's pretty well behaved out in public. I think we just got really lucky. But I think probably every parent thinks their
I
kids
hope I hope so.
the shit. Yeah.
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 I also like, here's one thing I judge parents on, because you always have like, what I think parenting is phenomenal, because like you look up and you realize you're judging someone and something you didn't care about like before you had a kid. Whenever parents have to use screens while they grocery shop, it's something where I find myself judging them. And then I have to be like, hey man, you don't know. Maybe they fought all morning. Maybe that kid's like hanging on by a thread and this is how they can get a task done. But like, that's one where whenever I see a kid like just sitting like this with an iPad in their face in the shopping cart, I'm like, to me, this is a connection point, and to you, it's just something to get done, and that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. We do we do have the Wiggles and Miss Rachel and Bluey
Mhm.
on quite a bit in our house, but
Yeah.
we have an equal amount of time without that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we'll go up to my parents' place, which is a couple hours north of here. Every once in a while we'll have to like, put Miss Rachel on over the car stereo, but um most of the time she falls asleep. But I don't know if I'm at the age where I can like really tell how much screen time and how little is,
Yeah.
um, because everybody has a million pieces of unsolicited advice for you
Yep.
when you first become a parent. And I feel like there's like this big argument about screen time, and I don't know, man. With something like the Wiggles, like that is like like a serious introduction to music, because it's not
Yeah.
just like Miss Rachel's just her singing to you,
Hmm.
but the Wiggles are like playing instruments. For me, I picked up bass the day I turned 13. My parents gave me my first bass, and like I never put it down. I'm 36 now. I want to get her on an instrument as young as possible. So
Hmm.
like sometimes when we're in the basement, we'll just set her up on the drum set. She loves picking up the sticks, and like she's not tall enough to hit the heads, but she'll just like
Yeah.
start banging on the drum set.
Yeah.
So she like gets it. Like,
Yeah.
it's the seed is there. But I hope she's a drummer,
Hmm.
because after like a year of playing bass, I talked to the guy who was teaching me, and I was like, man, I really like this, but I kind of think I want to be a drummer. And he's like, no, being a drummer sucks. You're the first there and you're the last one out and you're carrying all this shit. And then, 10 years later, here I am lugging an Ampeg 810 up a flight of stairs because
Yeah.
the elevator hasn't worked in 15 years.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, man. I think I would rather do this over like 5 trips with, but I want her to be a drummer, is what I'm getting at. I mean, she can be whatever she wants. I
Yeah.
hope
Yeah.
she's a drummer.
If you're going to force her, if you're going to put your thumb on the scale in one way, I play guitar, I play mandolin, I play all this stuff. To create a rhythm section with your kid, that's pretty
Hell
cool.
yeah. Hell
That's
yeah.
pretty cool to think about.
And I've been really lucky, especially for the past like 12-ish years. Every drummer that I've played with is just super phenomenally talented. So she's going to be growing up around some really, really great drummers.
That's cool.
So yeah, man, that's I'm a decent bass player, I think, and decent guitar player, and I
Yeah.
sing
Cool.
poorly. But yeah, man, I wish I had been a drummer. I've had like situations where a band is like, man, we really fucking need a drummer, and I'm like, I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna get you by. And those are always like the most fun. Like the few times I've gotten to play a show as a drummer, I'm like, fuck yeah. You follow me now.
I'm in charge here. You need me the most.
Yeah.
That I could never figure out drums. For whatever reason, I can't do like the kick and the hi-hat, like my legs and hands. I just can't. For some reason, every time I tried to figure it out, it was more discouraging than encouraging. And I was like, man, you already play like guitar and bass and mandolin. Like you're good. Like your wife doesn't want you to, like, you don't need another instrument to take up another room. Like you're fine, man.
Yeah. Actually, how I started to like at least understand drums, I was in a band in high school and most of the guys went away to college and I just wanted to keep going. So I learned this really crappy, possibly free interface, DAW. I was called Acid Pro 3 and it was based around loops and stuff. But what I would do is I would take samples of a single kick hit and a single hi-hat or a single snare. And then I would map them out one by one for an entire song.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just like these little blocks that you fill in.
Yep.
And that's how I understand drums. It's like I understand what needs to be happening, but the legs and arms don't always match up with what I can do, what I'm hearing in my head, right?
Yeah. I studied like audio engineering stuff and like music production. And yeah, like whenever you I remember like messing with like Fruity Loops and all these old school programs.
Yeah.
Once you figure out like it, I'm with you as well. If you give me like a drum pad or something like that where I can program in drum tones and then do it, I can do it all day. I can do like everything. But then you're like, now play it on a real kit. And I'm like, nope, I love everything about this. I love emphasizing a song with drums and percussion, but I can't do any of this. I'm useless behind a drum kit.
Yeah, same deal. Although it's great being in a band with a really good drummer and then that over time you like learn to understand each other. Like he'll be like, "Can you sing it like a little like more like this?" And he's usually dead on. He will give me exactly what he wants me to sound like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey man, can you make it like really Tommy and like blah 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 blah?" Like I'm just like making up words to try and explain what I hear in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
we're after this I'm going to record vocals for a cover of Waiting that's going to be out on a Coffin Curse Records
Nice.
compilation later this year. And our drummer has all the drums done for a new record.
Yeah.
So we're going to start that up pretty soon. I'm really excited about that. That is the other thing I do besides be a dad is playing a band.
With recording the album, did you start recording it yet or are you about to like record it?
So our drummer has already done his parts.
Okay, yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's an audio engineer.
Cool. Gotcha.
And you know, we do this kind of DIY, but we're also working with like tens and tens of thousands of dollars of gear.
Yeah.
So and his stuff like that, Jason has an ear like nobody, man. I'm telling you, he's like the secret weapon.
Yeah.
To have in your band.
That's cool. Have you recorded before as a dad? Like, have you ever had to go from like, all right, I've been in dad mode, now I've got to switching to creative mode? Have you had that experience yet? Is this like your first time doing that?
So we did do a single that we put out in November that was recorded post dadhood.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only recording thing I think we've done. Maybe like a couple. Oh yeah, actually that's a lie. We did a couple demos for this new record. But so we put out a cover of Steal My Sunshine by Len.
Nice. Yeah.
In November.
Yeah.
And the other night I'm out at Jason's place and we're working on Waiting and I get a notification on the band Instagram that's like, Coffin Curse Records has invited you to this group chat.
Yeah.
And it's like a group chat of like, 40 bands that are going to be on this compilation.
Yeah.
All really cool bands. We've all been putting like clips of what we're doing for these Green Day covers in the chat and it's going to be rad. But I saw under requests and hidden a message. And I was like, it doesn't like notify you about that
Yep.
stuff. So I click on it, and it's the singer of Len saying he liked our cover.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit. And it was like 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
So I like get in there and I message him back. I'm like literally in between bass takes for this other cover we're doing. We don't do a lot of covers. We've done 2. It's just that's the stage we're in. So anyway, I messaged him back and I was like, holy shit, dude. Thank you for saying that. That is insane. That is insane that you even heard it, let alone liked it.
Yeah.
That really boosted my ego a few days
man.
ago.
No, that's because even like doing this podcast and stuff, like I'll put stuff out there. You create whenever you do creative stuff, you're just throwing it into the void and being like, gotta hope someone likes this. Gotta hope this picks up with someone. And then when someone connects with it, you're like, this is a reminder of why I wanted to do this. Like, I mean, that's awesome. Hell yeah, man. That's great.
Yeah. You know, I have this like, you know, I've been a part of several records. I have, you know, I write these songs and I put them out into the world. And a lot of times I put it out, you know, for free on Bandcamp or whatever. And here's the thing. This goes for shows too. I don't care if just one person hears it. If that one person can connect to something I'm saying in a song and it makes them feel something, that one connection is worth any effort I put into the song. I don't care if nobody else listens or cares, but I connected with one person. That is really amazing. And sometimes it's with the songs I don't even like, which actually happened with the last Emergency Exit record. There were 2 songs that I was like, these aren't really. And then several people were like, no, these are like the best songs. This is like, this like means something to me. And I'm like, all right, well, mission accomplished.
Well, I mean, because it's the reality of like you try to be authentic to yourself and try to be like, all right, what am I today? I'm going to channel it. I'm going to put it into a song. And like, there are ones that clearly you like more than others. It's just how it works. But like, then whenever, like, once you release it, like you kind of lose your control over it's gone. Cause it's like, all right, maybe everyone hates the one song I thought was my best vocal take. And everyone loves the song I thought was my worst vocal take. And I'm just grateful anyone listened to it at all.
Yeah, 100%. And then, you know, I've written, you know, 20 songs for my wife back when she was my girlfriend or when she was my fiance, when she was my wife. So you can track our relationship over, you know,
that's
all
cool.
these songs. But when Ellery was pregnant and when Lorelai was born, like I kept trying to like write a song, you know, for Lorelai. And I couldn't, just maybe because it was so important to me. You know, when something feels like it's got to be done, then it never gets done.
Yep.
It wasn't until I wrote a song to Lorelai that I really, really liked it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
which is interesting.
It is like, all right, I know this is about to change my life. I know I love my wife. I know I'm going to love this kid. And it's like, now put it into words. And you're like, I care too much. Like I can't put this into a verse. Or it takes a while to expect yourself to immediately to know how to do that is unfair.
And it also sucks because when it's usually the songs that get like days and weeks and months of thought into them that suck. And it's the songs that you sit down with an acoustic guitar and you write in 5 minutes and you have essentially the completed skeleton of a song done in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the one everybody likes.
Yeah.
That you put like 40% thought into, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, it's like, okay, but if you listen to this, there's a third guitar part hidden in the left speaker. And they're like, I don't care.
No. Yeah.
I like this song more.
Yeah. And that's the funny thing about recording is because you think you're being so creative with exactly what you just said, you know, and then nobody will ever notice it. The only thing people care about is the straight up chord progression.
Did I like the song?
Yeah. I think I'm putting myself out there with these like, you know, really emotionally vulnerable lyrics. And then it's the shit that is like super cheesy poppy that people like.
I'm a really big fan of like Saddle Creek, like Omaha bands from like the early 2000s. And Mike Mogus, the engineer, did a ton of like whispery tracks in it. So like a bunch of Cursive and Bright Eyes songs have like this like really whispery, like to make it feel really eerie and uncomfortable. And every time I listen to it, I'm like, oh, did you hear this? And people are like, no, maybe I was listening to the bass line. And I'm like, all right, this is how I'm the weird one in this relationship.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's me. Yeah. Have you, as you're getting ready, I know you just said you're like, as you're getting ready to like record new music and stuff, do you feel like fatherhood has affected your lyrics or like your songs at all yet?
Yes, and not so much on this record. This record's been written mostly, I'd say like 75% before Lorelai was born.
Yeah.
But there is a few newer ones that are very nostalgic.
Yeah.
And I'm already like a nostalgia nerd. Like I have a big thing for like really terrible 90s action movies. Like
Yes.
I'm thinking like Escape from LA. Not
Yes.
Escape from New York, Escape from LA.
Yes.
But having a kid has like intensified that nostalgia,
Mm-hmm.
that love of something nostalgic. Because I love Pokemon, but when she turned 1, I wanted to give her a Pokemon birthday, and she's 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
She doesn't care what it is. It's a
No.
party for us.
It is.
But yeah, so some of these newer songs are very nostalgic for, the feelings of growing up and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I also love 90s like action. Like, I don't know if Lethal Weapon movies are 90s or more 80s, but they're all ridiculous. They're all over the top. They're all unnecessary, but I love every second of them.
Yep. So actually several years ago,
Yeah.
maybe a couple years before COVID, I walked into like kind of a vintage collectible toys, sports memorabilia. It's actually, the store is pure chaos.
Yeah.
Like this guy just throws shit all over this store, and it's impossible to go through it. Like you have to be in there for hours. But I saw what I thought was a Return of the Jedi soundtrack on vinyl.
Dude.
And I grab it and I realize it's not a vinyl. And I'm like, what is this? And the guy's like, oh, it's a laser disc.
Yeah.
So yeah, does that ring a bell at all?
It does a little bit, but I can't. If you ask me to explain, I can't explain. But like, I know this is a thing. Explain a laser disc to me because I cannot remember what it is.
Okay, so this is like a weird, like passion collectible thing that I have. So I go in and he says, it's a laser disc. I have a player too. And I'm like, all right, I'm sold.
Yeah.
So basically a laser disc it's the size of a vinyl. It's a disc. Both sides are silver and it's a giant CD essentially. And it's got a movie on it.
Okay.
There's even a reference to Laserdisc in the movie SLC Punk.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the rich guy they hang out with has like a Laserdisc player, and that's how it was. Like in the 90s, like if you went to the rich kid's house, there's a chance that their family had Laserdisc instead of VHS.
That sounds right.
So yeah, the quality is barely better than VHS.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time it was considered like top of the line. So yeah, I have all these laser discs, and they stopped making them around 1999, 2000. I started collecting these like, great movies from my childhood on Laserdisc, and I've got a decent collection of them. 2 nights ago, I went downstairs and put on the original Punisher. Like
nice.
The Dolph Lundgren.
Yes.
I think it's like 1989. Completely lost track of how we got to the Laserdisc conversation. But anyway.
I don't know. You're good, man. Some of this is also like you become a dad and you like it's just about your journey of fatherhood. Yeah. And how like you look up and you're suddenly like, you go down this rabbit trail of like 9 p.m. on a Wednesday and I'm watching Dolph Lundgren as the Punisher. Yeah. And you're like, how did I get here? But also I'm loving every second of this.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll bring her down there and put on movies that she definitely shouldn't,
Yes.
be watching as a 17-month-old. Like I'll put on Aliens or something.
Nice.
But my parents never like I was allowed to watch rated R movies like at 5 or whatever. And yeah, Critters 2 scared the shit out of me.
As it should. It's a very violent movie.
But yeah, my parents never had like no rated R thing or
Mhm.
anything like that. And I think I'm gonna be like that with Lorelai. Like, I want her to understand the world um, from the get go here. Um, yeah, I always thought that was a weird thing because you talk to your peers and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, well, I wasn't allowed to watch a rated R movie till I was
Yeah.
14 or something."
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
literally
wa
had Critters 2 on VHS in my bedroom.
Yeah. I was whenever I was in college, I went to Belmont, which is in Nashville, and I was an RA, and like our floor or dorm, whatever, did like movie themes. So my theme for my floor was 90s movies. So I just did like all the Adam Sandler movies, all the Chris Farley movies. And since it was like a private school in the South, every kid on my floor was like, I've never watched this movie. I wasn't allowed to watch this movie. And I was like, you didn't watch Tommy? You've never seen Tommy Boy? No. You've never seen Billy Madison? No. You've never seen Happy Gilmore? Well, I watched it on the afternoon on TNT once, and I'm just like, what? I understand the energy of like wanting to protect your kid and all that, but like Billy Madison's stupid funny. Like, you guys should have been
Yeah,
watching
yeah,
this whenever you're in like sixth grade. Like, what? You shouldn't be watching this at 20. Like, come on.
yeah, yeah. I had I was really into Star Wars in like the mid 90s, before episode 1. And I was the perfect age that episode 1 should have blown my mind because
Yep.
the lead,
Yeah.
it's a kid, he's like 9,
Totally.
10,
Yep.
and that's how old I was. But I was already so entrenched in that original trilogy that I was with the older crowd when the prequels are coming out, like, oh, it's not the original. But I was, a kid, again, 5, 6, 7, watching Star Wars, and I had a cousin whose mom would not let him watch Star Wars with me, which is like, it's not violent. Or, I
No.
mean, yeah, I guess like Luke gets his hand cut off or whatever.
Yeah. If you want to make a violent movie, you can. That's not a violent.
Yeah. But yeah, Star Wars is another thing that I have a huge nostalgia for. Actually, one of the great things about Laserdisc
Mhm.
is it's such an old technology that I have the pre-special edition cuts
Yeah.
of Star Wars. And it's you know, for 20 years here, you haven't been able to really watch them at all. And I went back and watched them when I first picked up those copies, and it is crazy how much they changed.
Is it really? Okay.
Oh my God. I'm talking like, I mean, they had to have like started from scratch and
Yeah.
I mean, there's like just the slightest extra couple frames between a transition.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just really interesting because at this point, I know the special editions like the back of my hand, and
hmm
seeing those original ones is really crazy.
Well, that's how I feel like if it's like, hey, the 20th year anniversary of this album, we've remastered it. And I listened through it and I'm like, what'd you change? Did you just like EQ it a little differently? Did you add modern compression? Like, it's hard to tell that whenever there are lots of albums I know way too well. So it is fascinating whenever you see like the remaster, the re-edited, and you're like, oh, this is normally, where's the transition? You normally transition to this scene, not this scene. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. As far as the remaster thing goes with music, our drummer, he's
Yeah.
got the ear for that.
Yeah.
He's the
That's
engineer.
unique. Yeah.
When a remaster of exactly what you're talking about, an album from 20 years ago comes out, he will listen and it'll be like, this is dog shit, or he'll love it.
Yes.
And me, I just don't have the ear for that, man. When it comes to like my tone on like bass or guitar, I just dial everything to 12 o'clock and go for broke.
Yeah. Now I'm sure there's because it's just a remaster, so like the blends are usually pretty similar. I feel like it's more like in compression and EQ that they make the changes. But
Yeah.
like also normally I like the remasters because it's like, hey, we're actually going to put this on vinyl finally. Like
Yes.
like I know like I used to listen to a lot of Hey Mercedes. Hey Mercedes is about to put all their stuff out on vinyl for like I don't know if it's the first time, blah blah blah. But I'm like I don't care if it's remastered or not. I want this on vinyl, and I'm going to listen to it a lot.
Yeah. I love collecting vinyl, but every once in a while I'll think of a record, be like, oh my God, how do I not have this on vinyl?
Same. Yep.
And I'll go on Discogs and it's like $150
Mm-hmm.
because it's out of print.
Yep.
And every once in a while, if I'm just dying for it, I'll get it. And then a month later, the band will put out a
Every time.
reissue of it.
Every time.
Yeah, every time.
Every time. Yep. That's how there's a Cursive album called Happy Hollow that came out while I was in college. And it's like not, I don't know if it was, I don't think it was one of their best selling ones, but it's now like 20 years old. And I'm always like, this is like the only one of theirs I don't have on vinyl. But also, yeah, if I go on Discogs, it's like $100 in Germany. So then I've got to translate my messages into German. Then I've got to pay $50 in shipping and handling. And I'm like, you don't know. Try convince your wife of this. Convince your wife of why an album she doesn't know you even like is worth $200 to buy on vinyl.
Yes. So I actually have a shockingly similar story. So
do you really?
Somehow I came across this band called Street Rats in high school.
Okay.
Don't know. It was back in the days of the iPod, and maybe it was just like a recommended thing on iTunes, but I had it when I was like 17 and I loved it. And I had been looking for one on Discogs. One hadn't gone up for sale forever, and one went up for sale in Germany.
Yes.
But the guy wouldn't ship it to the United States. It like wouldn't even let me purchase it.
Seriously?
Because I was in the United States.
Yeah.
So it's up for like 6 months. And I finally go to a record collecting group on Facebook. That's pretty, it's got a lot of people in it.
Yeah.
And I just post like, hey guys, is there anybody in Europe that can buy this vinyl for me?
Yeah.
And then ship it to me? And sure enough, an hour later, a guy's like, yeah, let's do this.
I got you.
Yeah. So this guy from Germany not only bought this record for me and shipped it to me, but he included a bunch of like German fat, it must have been from like one of the Fat Records like festivals they did in Europe. Sent me a sticker from that and a German band called Wizzo that they would show up on compilations back in the day. But yeah, he like included some stuff and he was super cool about it. And now I have this record that there's no chance I was getting it unless I got some outside help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Have you ever heard of a band called The Explosion?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so they had a couple singles around 2003, and they were in two Tony Hawk Underground games. So I love that band, and they did put out their big record called Black Tape on vinyl. But I don't know, I don't know if it's because they had like broken up or whatever, but the only versions that got pressed were the test presses.
Okay, yeah.
And they were on a major label, so there was a decent amount of test presses, like 300. But every one is like, instead of like a label, like a printed label, it's stamped.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
With the 171 out of 300 written in Sharpie. And I messaged that band and was like, is this ever getting repressed? And they're like, nope, there's no chance. So as soon as one went up for sale on Discogs, I bought it. And yeah, I'd rather not say how much I paid for that.
Yeah, I get it. Sadly, I understand and relate. And what you look up and like you almost get like hyper focused and like it is the nostalgia of it. Is like it's not just like is the music good? It's also like it like makes you in touch with like a younger version of yourself and who you were when you first heard that album. So like putting a price tag on that, you should, but it's really hard to.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we start wrapping up and stuff, I know like since I found out who you are because of your Instagram and you do a lot of stuff like I'm a punk rock dad with my daughter. Tell me like the story of what made you want to start doing stuff like that because I think it's really fun and really cool. So if you want to like tell like how that came to be, like that'd be awesome.
Okay, so I kind of suck at social media, especially being in a band. I'm not, and I've kind of turned this around recently, as maybe you've seen. But I don't post a lot on our band Instagram, and I mean I did post on my own social media, just like pictures of me and Allery and me and Lorelai and all of us as a family, and flyers for when my band is playing or whatever. But we were playing a big show. We were playing a big show here in November, and I hit up a friend of the band, a tattoo artist, and was like, "Hey, man, do you mind like giving out these free tickets to people who come through?"
Mm-hmm.
And he was down. And that kind of evolved into, you want to like do a tattoo on me?
Yeah.
When I got there, he was having a meeting with like a social media person, someone who like to
Consultant,
help him
yeah.
with it. Yeah, consultant kind of deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, I should talk to you. I suck at social media with my band, and we had this big show coming up, and I needed to start promoting it
Yeah.
better. So I end up having this like, hour-long conversation with Bo before we do the tattoo. And I just was like, you know what? I'm going to make a video out of getting this tattoo.
Mhm.
So I did that. And, it got more likes than usual stuff that I post, right? So I just kind of started making really dumb little short videos. And then I got it in my head that I was going to do a video, a day in the life of a punk rock girl dad.
Yeah.
And it was really cheesy. I was just making it up as I was going. And I posted it, and my sister-in-law, who is not a punk rocker, but she is a really well-known makeup artist. She's worked on like movies, and she just did a movie with Patrick Warburton.
Nice.
And she saw that video, and she's like, you have to keep making these because people are going to like them. And I was like, you are insane. This is dumb.
Yeah.
So then I made a second one, and it got like twice as many views as the first one. And then I made a third one, and the third one went mega viral.
Yeah.
It got, it's at like 770,000 views or something like that now.
That's ridiculous.
And I was like, well, shit, okay. People like this, and I actually really like doing this. Like these, because it gives me a chance to tell the world and my daughter at the same time how much I love punk rock.
Yeah.
And I don't just love one subgenre, I love many genres within the subculture of punk rock. And it's a really rad way to be like, to show my love for it. And, I've been playing original music for years and years and years, and nobody, and then I just make these silly videos, and it's amazing. And I've gotten messages from people I consider like heroes, and they're like, these are so great, or they'll reshare the video I mentioned their band in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool. And I really enjoy doing them. But yeah, it's very silly how it came about. I just one day decided I was going to start making silly videos. And then my sister-in-law was just, you got to keep doing these because these are funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It wasn't intentional. They weren't intentional.
I think that's how life goes sometimes, is you're like, all right, I'm going to post this. I'm going to see what happens. Or whenever you try to do anything creatively, it's like, oh, people seem to like this. I'm just going to keep doing it until like they seem to not to. And it is something that like you're going to be making your daughter listen to punk rock music, regardless of if it's an Instagram reel or not. So if it can like bring people awareness to the creative stuff that you're doing and your life and music you're doing and like who you are as a person, like, hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing is these videos are not only playtime for my daughter and I, and my wife is filming. So it's like
That's
a whole
fine.
family ordeal,
Yes.
but I love coming up with things to say about, bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just fucking love punk rock, man.
Yeah, man.
It's been my whole life. I lived in the Bay Area when I was a kid, ages like 6 to almost 13. And I would listen to like the K-Rock affiliate. And that's how I got introduced to bands like Newfound Glory and Sum 41. I was almost a new metal kid, but man, that first time I heard good pop punk, I was like, okay, this is my lane. This is what I'm into. I still really like Limp Bizkit, to be clear. That's like the one new metal band I can still get down with. But yeah, I love punk rock deeply. It has saved my life. It has changed my life. It's how I met my wife.
Yeah.
I like doing these videos. I'm happy people get some kind of enjoyment out of them. Sometimes I don't get it, but
Well, I mean, that's how I feel about music also, is if it's like, because I'm 38, so I'm like 2 years older than you. But like all like I grew up in Indiana, so like the Midwest emo, all like the college scenes there are very much like mean a lot to me. And it's like, yeah, not saved me, but like I'm who I am today because of them. So to like,
100%.
so to be able to communicate that is awesome. And then whenever you find other people, it's like, oh hell yeah, man, this song meant this to me, and I'm like, that song meant that to me also. It's like if you start posting about it and you get the positive response, then it's like, oh man, this is part of like my identity. Like this music scene is me. And so like if you can share that with the world and have it positively received for something that you were made fun of in high school, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I really appreciate you reaching out and having me on here.
Yeah.
You know, I know we kind of got off on some other
No, man,
topics other than
that's
parenting.
part
but
of it, man. It's not supposed to be just parenting. It's also supposed to be like, who are you as a person? Who are you as a dad? Because like, I think a lot of parenting becomes a massive part of your identity, but you still have other parts of your identity. And so like, I love being able to talk to dads to be like, hey, don't forget about this part of you, because this matters also. I usually wrap up with like just asking 5 simple questions that are kind of fun
Please.
icebreaker ones. And
Yeah.
then we'll get on our way. So first question is, did you have any backup names for your kid? Like, did you almost name her something besides Lorelai?
Lorelai for a girl, for sure. But we had a couple names for boys
Mhm.
if it had been a boy instead. I think Indiana was way at the top of the list. Obviously Indiana Jones. And Sterling if it had been a boy. But for a girl,
Yeah.
we were really pretty set on.
Yeah. Lorelai's pretty. Lorelai's a really pretty name.
Well, my wife is a huge Gilmore Girls fan.
That helps.
And then her
That
middle
helps.
names are Star Wars references.
What are
So
her
her-
middle names?
Isley Hope. So Moss Isley,
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Hive of Scum and Villainy, and Hope, A New Hope, You're My Only Hope.
That's awesome.
So Allery got the Gilmore Girls in, I got the Star Wars in.
That's awesome. Next question. Do you have a favorite TV or movie dad?
Man,
You can also do first that
Man.
comes to mind. You can do first that comes to mind also.
actually what comes to mind first is Ripley in Aliens as the
Yeah, man.
she finds Newt, and
Newt, yeah.
there's a lot of themes of motherhood in Aliens. So that's actually what comes to mind first.
You can say we can do mom. My mom actually told me like she loved the movie Aliens because it was like the first time she saw a woman who was a badass, kicking ass, and was motherly all in one movie. And she was like, this character is amazing.
Yeah, and if I even push that a little further, Sarah Connor in
Yeah.
Terminator 2, badass mom.
Yeah, man.
It's funny that all I can think of is moms right now.
Respect.
Yeah.
I mean, both of those are pretty solid answers. And like, yeah, no, she protects Newt so much. She puts her life on the line for Newt, like, and is like, yeah, I'm with you. That's good. I'll take that answer. I'll accept it.
Awesome.
And then next question, I doubt you have one, but just in case, do you have a replacement curse word? Or do you just say the curse word?
Oh, I say the curse word.
Yep.
I will be the fuck shit goddamn dad at softball.
They'll just
That-
slowly move you up higher on the bleacher. So at least you have to, so hopefully, in hopes that you don't project louder.
That is in the realm of I want her to be aware of the world
Yeah.
right off the bat. And hopefully I can like instill like, hey, these are for home.
Yes.
Please don't use them at your, in kindergarten class.
Yep. That's actually just so you know, that's the most common answer. The most common answer is I didn't know I was supposed to say anything different.
Yeah.
Next question. What's like favorite activity to do with your daughter? Like what's some of your favorite things to do with her?
Just playing with the toys we have for her in the living room.
Mhm.
I mentioned like these ball pit balls earlier in the video. They sit in a wagon in the living room. She just tears them out, and that's how I've been teaching her share and how to put something away. Is share, and she'll hand me the ball, and I'll try
That's
and
sweet.
share and give it to her. Yeah, probably that, just because of the experience of getting her to learn sharing.
Mm-hmm. Has she, I feel like we did a ball pit for a while, And then I think I finally got tired of it because it went from like those type of cute, sweet moments to them just figuring out how to dump all of the balls on the ground and like overturn the wagon. And then, they like spend an hour being like, can you help me clean? Like, this is a massive mess. This is very dangerous. You got to help me.
We were able to get her to learn to put them away on her own very quickly.
Well done.
Again, I think we just got lucky with this kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, we showed her that when she puts one ball back in, we clap for her and, you know, say, yay, Lorelai. And then she just went ham. She just wants the attention. Maybe she will be a musician.
Maybe. Oh, someone approved of me audibly, like out loud. What else do you need? Just tell me.
Yeah.
And then last question. As you think about your daughter's life, is there any like moment or any phase of life where you're like, oh man, I can't wait until she enters into this phase of life or anything like that?
Man, I'm really excited for all of it because I'm thinking back to all the different things I experienced as I grew up. You know, my first favorite thing, my love of punk rock when I'm like, 10 to a couple years later, I want to play punk rock. I'm excited for her to experience all of it and be just a part of it as she gets there. I know a lot of kids start rebelling around their early preteens, early teens. I mean, I think we're going to be the cool parents, if I had to guess. So maybe she won't, but I'm really excited for that time. She's starting to have friends that she'll have forever and stuff like that. So
no, it's really cool. It's fun to watch our kids get older and then like hopefully share like, hey, this is what I was doing at your age, and like hopefully it means something to them. Because I think whenever you have a kid, how can you not be nostalgic? How can you not revisit your own childhood and then like want to create the energy and moments you had as a kid that shaped you for your own child?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then last thing for you is just like moment for self-promotion. So if you want to find like music, bands you playing, Instagrams, all that good stuff.
Sure. Follow me. I am a thermal detonator on Instagram. I'm the punk rock girl dad. And then I play in a band called The Emergency Exit. We're on socials as The Emergency Exit Music. You can find us on Spotify and Apple Music under The Emergency Exit. We have a full length and a single that's a cover of Steal My Sunshine by Len. That's been approved by Len themselves.
That's awesome.
So check that out. And
nice.
That's about what I got.
Your love of Star Wars makes a lot more like, because whenever I saw that your handle, whatever was a thermal detonator, I was like, that's Star Wars, isn't it? Like, that's a Star Wars reference, right? So yes, it absolutely is a Star Wars reference.
Because he's holding a thermal detonator.
I like some part of my head was like, I'm sure that's what that, or it's like, no, yeah, it's Star Wars. It's definitely Star Wars.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Well, yeah, man, that's all I got for you. I'll edit the episode. I'll fill up with you an email of like, hey, here's when I think it'll come out, what I need from you and all that. But like, mostly I love being able to connect with dads who just love being a dad and love their kids and love like the experience that they're having right now. So like, thank you for letting me share your story and like give you a place to like express that energy.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I had a really great time. It was very nice to meet you and just talk to you and kind of get to know you in this scenario.
Yeah, appreciate it a lot. I'll let you get back to your day. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time, and I'll talk to you next time.
All right, see you, man. Bye.
See you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for listening to the episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at The Imperfect Dads Podcast. And make sure to give us 5 stars wherever you listen to us. Music, editing, and production is all done by me. Make sure to tune in on Mondays and most Thursdays for new episodes. This podcast is part of the Never Efface Network. Make sure to go to nevereffacenetwork.com to learn more about them.